More FPL. With Gameweek 3 over, it's time to look at captaincy options for Gameweek 4. Again, it's between Liverpool, Man City, Arsenal and Spurs, with all teams having good fixtures. Some of these teams and their players head into Gameweek 4 in better form than others. First, let's discuss options from Liverpool, and this is mainly just Salah right now. He's the standout option so far this season, with 2 goals and 1 assist in 3 games. Even though Liverpool haven't really been firing so far this season, you'd always back Salah. He has superb consistency, being one of the top scorers in each of the past 5 seasons. With Darwin Núñez still suspended, the only other attacking player of note is Diaz. He's only had 1 goal so far against Crystal Palace, and you'd never consider Firmino. You could go for Trent Alexander-Arnold, as Liverpool will surely get a clean sheet in the next match. He's yet to provide an attacking return, but does find himself in good positions and on set pieces. Their opponents Bournemouth kept a clean sheet against Aston Villa, but have been leaky since. They conceded 4 against Man City and 3 against Arsenal, and you put Liverpool in that bracket. As disappointing a start as they've had, you back them to get at least a couple of goals there. Salah has scored or assisted 3/4 of Liverpool's goals, so at least 1 return is likely. I'd only really consider Salah and ignore Diaz, Trent and others like Robertson, who I may be selling. More FPL. Next, let's discuss options from Man City, and this is mainly Erling Haaland and Kevin De Bruyne. De Bruyne actually has 1 more point than his much more highly owned teammate. Both have 4 returns, but De Bruyne has 3 assists, whereas Haaland has 3 goals. City are averaging 3 goals a game so far, in spite of their draw against Newcastle last time out. Pep has mentioned resting Haaland once City starts to have to play 2 games per week. That begins next week, but I think it's more likely that he misses Nottingham Forest in Gameweek 5. With so many other good options this week, that may be reason enough to not captain him. Whether or not he starts this week will give a strong indication of where he starts Gameweek 5. With De Bruyne, however, he's one of the more nailed City assets, only missing 3 minutes so far. This is even more so the case this season, with City opting for a fairly small squad. Their opponents Crystal Palace have had a good start to the season, despite a tricky first few fixtures. They were a bit unlucky to lose to Arsenal and got a slightly lucky draw against Liverpool. A comfortable win against Aston Villa means they head into the City game in good form. You'd obviously still expect City to win though, and get at least a couple of goals to boot. If I owned him, I'd probably back De Bruyne over Haaland, mainly because of the extra minutes. Gundogan has 2 goals in 3 games and will be a truly maverick pick for captain. More FPL. Next, let's discuss options from Arsenal, and this is still mainly Jesus, but their options in midfield. The Gunners sit top of the league as the only team to have won 3 out of 3 games. Jesus grabbed another assist against Bournemouth and now has 2 goals and 3 assists in total. He scored or assisted over a half of Arsenal's goals and seems pretty integral to their attack. He played the full 90 minutes and Nketiah has only taken minimal minutes off him so far. Although Gabriel Martinelli scored 2 goals in the first 2 games, I struggled to back him over Jesus. He was taken off for the first time for Smith Rowe, and that will start to happen more and more. The same goes for Martin Odegaard, who could return, but I backed Jesus to get more. He was also subbed for the first time against Bournemouth, but you'd still expect him to start the next game. They play Fulham at home, so another winnable fixture that should yield a few goals. They have 1 clean sheet against Wolves, but have conceded 2 goals against Liverpool and Brentford. The XG is fairly in line with what happened, apart from Wolves, where they should have conceded. I'm expecting Arsenal's attack to do well again here and score at least 2 goals, maybe more. Because of that, Jesus has to be a serious consideration for captaincy once more. More FPL. Finally, let's discuss options from Spurs, and this is normally Heung-min Son and Harry Kane. Son has been particularly quiet so far and can't be really considered for captaincy right now. Kane has at least got 2 goals so far, despite not being at his best, and has played every minute. Elsewhere, Kulusevski just has 2 goals from Gameweek 1, followed by successive blanks. He's played more minutes than Son, who seems more at risk from Richarlison on that left side. Despite not looking their best in the last 2 games, Spurs headed to this one in 4th place. You probably back their defence more here, and a big differential pick would be Perisic. He got his first start in Gameweek 3 and got an assist, clean sheet and all 3 bonus points. Their opponents, Nottingham Forest, have also had a decent start with 4 points from 9. Loan signing Dean Henderson in particular has been impressive, and they've only conceded 3 goals. I think Spurs will win this one, but I'm not expecting too many goals from Kane and co. With so many other good options this week, I wouldn't captain a Spurs player if I had any. If I did, Kane would probably be my pick for reliability of minutes, and his form is decent too. More FPL. So, what are my overall thoughts on the best captaincy options for Gameweek 3? In my opinion, it comes down to Salah against Bournemouth and Jesus against Fulham. Bournemouth have been the leakier team so far, conceding 7 to Fulham's 4. But at the same time, Arsenal have been attacking better, scoring 9 goals to Liverpool's 4. Salah has been more heavily involved in those goals, with 3/4 as opposed to just over half for Jesus. I own both and genuinely don't know who I'd go for, so we'll decide during the week. It was the exact same situation last week, and I plumped for Jesus against Bournemouth. As good as Man City are, I'm backing the Crystal Palace defence to keep the score down. If you do fancy them though, De Bruyne isn't a bad shout at all, or Haaland if you think he starts. As good as the Spurs fixture is, I won't be backing any of their assets for captaincy. Thank you so much for watching, I really appreciate it. Give it a like if you enjoyed it. Who do you plan to captain this week, and has this video helped your decision? Add your own thoughts and questions in the comments, and I'll try to get through as many as I can. Never miss a pre-season video or game week preview by subscribing and turning on notifications. More FPL.